Good morning. Welcome to Tuesday's Early Morning Intuitive Guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, here with some words of wisdom to start your day off well, give you some things to think about and talk about and feel about. So we'll give it a minute here for people to start popping on, but as always, we'll start with the breath. So in through the nose, out through the mouth. Let your shoulders drop in through the nose, out through the mouth. Next one a little deeper, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Good morning, Carolyn. You're the first one here. Now we're going to hold at the top, in through the nose, hold, and out. Doesn't that feel lovely? Just a few conscious breaths makes a huge difference in how you're feeling. So I hope you're having an awesome day already, Carolyn. Good morning, Cindy, waving back at you. Hello, hello. We'll wait a second for everybody to pop on, and my little counter, of course, still says 0, although I've already said hi to 2 of you. So on we go. So today's going to be a warm day here, 84, and we're off to do some things today. Good morning, Janine. Welcome. I think we're going to actually do pizza. What the heck? Let's have pizza. When life is uncertain, have pizza. I'm sure the Italian restaurant down the road would agree. Good morning, Gwen. Glad you're here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are also going to get our flu shots and our COVID boosters. Good morning, Beth. Because around me so far, I've already had 2 peeps who have had COVID. Good morning, Beth. Good morning, Barb. Glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. And one person said it was far more miserable than his first round of COVID, and several others said it was milder. So there's probably multiple strains making their way around. But for those of you who live near me, if you're a Wisconsinite and you have a Pick and Save nearby, good morning, Abigail. They have this deal going where if you get 1 vaccination, you get $5 off on groceries. If you get 2 vaccinations, you get $20 off on groceries. So between Dad and myself, we will get a $40 grocery coupon just for getting shots we were already going to get, because when you're pushing 90, you don't want to screw around with this stuff. So that's part of the day. I've had several things cancel for today, which was really interesting to note within myself what I was doing. Haven't been getting notifications either. Yes, just keep checking. I have no idea why it does what it does. My screens change all the time also. When I'm setting up to go live, it's not the same. You know, I'll get a run of, good morning, Betty, glad you're here. I'll get a run of like 3 days where it's the same, and then all of a sudden something's moved, or I can't do something that I did before. I had a while ago where it wouldn't let me download them anymore, and I download them to then put them on other platforms. Very strange, very strange. But it tests our flexibility, and flexibility is something we are being called to put forth in these times. So we can fill in the blank a zillion times, right? Life is uncertain. Eat dessert first. Life is uncertain. Have pizza. Life is uncertain. Take a walk. Life is uncertain. Pay attention to things. And I think today's is going to be one of those. Life is uncertain. Give yourself a rest in silence. Good morning, Ruth Ann. Welcome, welcome. Ruth Ann let me know she was going to be visiting in Wisconsin shortly. We couldn't figure out a day and time that would work, but she comes once a year, so hopefully next year we can get together and have coffee. So give yourself a rest in silence. When you hear those words, what's the first thing that comes into your mind? Silence. I can't stand it. I gotta have background noise. Blah. Give yourself a rest in silence, and let's see what they mean by that, because I'm going to move the card closer so you can see. I would guess this is either somewhere in Wisconsin Dells or Upper Michigan. Looks kind of similar to the Bluffs by Pictured Rocks. So I'm not sure where it is, but I'll bet you nickel it's one of those 2. So here we go. Again, nice deep breath. Let it go. Opening to receive the message. Good morning, Mel. Glad you're here. Give yourself a rest in silence. There are two kinds of silence, outer silence and inner silence. Both are beneficial to your mind, body, and spirit. To achieve outer silence, simply stop talking. And I thought, that's an interesting thought process. Because right now, where you are, this is early morning for most of us. If my Aussies are on, yeah, not so much. But it's early morning for most of us. But listen, what do you hear? It really isn't silent, is it? I can hear the air conditioner. I can hear some traffic noise. So we really don't afford ourselves true silence very often. Interestingly, one of the places where I've found it possible to find true silence, and I haven't been there in years, is the areas that are designated light pollution free. So a place where you can actually see the stars at night, that tends to be a very quiet spot. But the same way we struggle to get away from light, I mean, if you look at your bedroom in the evening, how many lights are on various things? Whether, you know, your computer's in your room and it has that the on light still blinking at you, whether it's other kinds of equipment. My air conditioner, there's a light on the plug for that. So again, these little bitty things impinge upon our ability to be in true darkness, our ability to be in true silence. Yes, dark parks, exactly, that's it. Yeah. And we tune it out. We think we tune it out. But again, our subconscious mind is always on, always picking up much of the input. So even if on a conscious level you're not registering it, your subconscious is still registering it. So, but in the card it says, to achieve outer silence, simply stop talking. Inner silence is often harder to achieve. Our minds may continue to chatter even when our speaking stops. I would say that is the number one complaint I hear from people who are attempting meditation. I can't get my brain to shut up. Understood. Do it anyway. Do it anyway. I sent my sister in Portland, meditation thing yesterday from Insight Timer that looked to be really awesome. The first day was free, and then the rest of it was a paid subscription, but she decided she was going to gift herself with that subscription for her birthday. I thought that was a pretty great birthday present. But availing ourselves of the opportunities to quiet our mind. So let's see what else the card says about that, and we'll practice right now, okay? Our minds may continue to chatter even when our speaking stops. To practice inner silence, find a place in nature where you can sit in outer silence without talking to anyone. So for the moment, again, our minds are not able to differentiate between reality and fantasy. They create the same responses regardless. So I'd like you to close your eyes, if you're able. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, allow yourself to go to a beautiful natural place in your mind's eye. Just allow that place to present itself to you. It may be a place you're familiar with. It may be a brand new place. Wherever you go, a beautiful spot in nature. Ooh. So for me, I'm going to Oregon. Portland, Oregon has a Japanese garden that is fantastic. So I'm seeing myself somewhere in that garden. Where do you find yourself? Just be there. Deeply listen to the sounds around you. Nice deep breaths. Hearing those natural sounds around you. You might hear birds. You might hear a stick falling out of a tree. You might hear squirrels moving around on the ground. You might hear water running. Whatever you hear, just listen deeply to the sounds around you. Awesome, Lake Tahoe, fabulous. As you give your full attention to nature's sounds, your mind will begin to slow down. That's Think about it. If you have a half-hour massage, very relaxing, right? If you have an hour massage, wow. If you have an hour and a half massage, you slide off the table like butter, right? So giving yourself some time to listen fully to nature's sounds. Your mind slows down, and when you feel ready, listen to the spaces between the sounds. So just breathe. The woods behind your house, fabulous. Listening to those gaps in between. Listening to the silence within. And the quote is by M. Vaderkar. Silence is like a river of grace, inviting us to leap unafraid into its beckoning depths. Silence is like a river of grace, inviting us to leap unafraid into its beckoning depths. And I think that's a piece that for many of us has gotten in the way, a fear. We're so heavily trained to have noise around us that when we think about silence, just the way we think about darkness, it's bad, we have to avoid it. No, no, no. It's the natural state. Embrace it. When you're in the darkness, be in the darkness, knowing that the light is going to come. What is the value in the darkness? When you're in the silence, knowing that noise is going to come again, what's the value in the silence? I think a huge value got mentioned in this card, which is being in the gap between the sounds and what opens up there. It moves you beyond your limited views into limitless. Any water, and I love silence also. Way back when, several years ago, when I exhorted all of you to turn off your car radios for a while, drive in silence. Diane did that for over a year. Very helpful, very valuable. Be in the silence, be in the stillness. I love early morning, being outside. Oftentimes it's very still before the world wakes up. So that's your mission for today. Give yourself a rest in silence. Up to you how you want to create that silence, how you want to find it. But give yourself a rest in silence. Have an awesome day. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. Bye-bye.